Welcome everyone then to Season 2, Round number 2. Here today at the Chinese Grand Prix. Got a couple of drivers out on track already. So I'll just get the telemetry and everything up and going. So second race of the season. First race was a very good race actually. Very close in the end. Relentless. Their driver taking the top step, taking that 25 points. 9 teams in the end finishing with the points. Only one team, our Rise, didn't finish in the points, so it shows how close the competition is, especially for this season. But yeah, China today, not a track that you quite often see, especially obviously in the real world. I haven't been to this track for quite a few years now, due to a number of issues, but we'll see what happens today. Jinx will be the first driver to start his lap. Start lining through the long right-hander. That is turn 1. Switching it back to the left-hander. Got to be careful on the power here. Don't want to go too early as now he's full throttle. Finding his way through the gears. Very short sector 1 in the first 2 corners. 24.3 will be the first sector. Through a slow right-hander, heavy braking through there. And up into the flat left-hander. A little bit of lifting off through there. So not quite trusting the aerodynamic levels that he has. Back into the right and then switch back to left. This double left-hander here. Got to make sure you don't go too wide. Lifting off the accelerator just a little bit there as through the end of the second sector he goes now, a 52 flat for the first and second sector for Jinx. Now once again another very long corner, difficult with the throttle, and the long right hander he goes and on to the back straight. We will see many overtaking opportunities into here. It is the main overtaking zone, into the home braking zone. He goes now. He had a bit of a lock up on that front right. Nothing too major though. Just one corner to go, and this will be the first lap that we see for the CPI driver who crosses the line, and it's going to be a 1:32.3 as our first lap. Who do we have crossing the line behind? Rocco with a 32.3 as well already. Got a close gap, 6,000ths is the gap up front. NRL JB with a 33 flat, and Mash with a 33 flat also. Behind CPI Nomis with a 33.2. Who else have we got crossing the line? Jonas with a 32.3. 3 drivers already on .3s. Floris 32.5 for him. Felix only a 59 flat for him. He's made a mistake on that lap and he will go again. Ryan 32.6 for him. Ferrari driver crossing the line. I think that was Harley starting his lap. L2 with a 32.7 puts him up into P6. His teammate crossing the line shortly. ASAP Lab. What can he set? As he comes up to the line now, it's only a 33.3, puts him up into P10. Behind, I believe we have the 2 Williams drivers. Yes, we do. Colin up into P8, his teammate up into P7. So the two RDR drivers right next to each other. That's now for Romeo coming across the line now. Rishi 33.1 for him up into P11. Behind we have an Aston Martin. Oh, as Felix has gone into the wall. So he's out the session. Was that Rocco crossing the line again? No, it wasn't. It was his teammate. I'm not quite sure where he's gone. It would have been Pease starting his lap. So first couple of laps coming in. Have we got anyone else on a lap? Mash finding his way back into the pits. Warwick's will finish his lap as he comes across the line now. Where's he going to fit among the first laps? It's 50.5. He will go once again. Got a Red Bull. What kind of sector that is. Coming into the pits though. Who is on a lap here, if anyone? Harley will be on a lap here as he crosses the line. Only P14 though, a 33.3 for him. Some of the ASAC drivers coming on the final corners. I believe that they'll be coming into the pits though. They are a couple of seconds down on their lap time. So who else do we have? Rishi, or Rishi's teammate Neon, going on to his lap now. The two Williams drivers of RDR will find themselves in the pits, so Rishi will be the next driver to complete his lap. He seems like he's pushing, so I'm going to believe that he's going to finish his lap here. No, he will not. He will come into the pits. It's only P11 for Rishi's first run. That's an Aston Martin. Coming through the final corner, that is Pease up to the line, and he's going to take provisional pole with the first driver to get into the point twos. 32.2 gets him on that provisional pole. Wessel, I think that was behind, yeah, up to P10, 32.9 for him. So an impressive lap from Pease, both of the relentless drivers. P1 and P2 currently looking very strong in the opening laps here. Warwick's into the pit, so not happy with that lap either. Teammate Harley Izzy on a push lap here. I would believe not. He is down, so he will come into the pits as well. Sparks currently on his out lap. Neon on his first lap I think has made a mistake. He's still got 100% battery, so that would seem so. Who have we got coming through the final sector now? Wessel is not going to be improving. Pease, has he found any improvement? See if he comes down the straight now. Around the slow right hand it goes. It seems to be a decently quick lap here. He is going to come into the pits. I will not continue. Jinx, is he on a lap? Nope, he's opening his lap now. This driver currently in P3 starts his second fast lap. Who have we got behind coming across the line? That's a Mercedes. I think that's Jaber. That will be JB, sorry. Coming across the line to open his lap. Who else have we got? Got a Red Bull going around the final corners now. That is Floris opening his lap. So who do we actually have on laps then at the moment? JB. Neon. Again, I think he's made a mistake. Because unless it's a bug, but he's not using any ERS here. We'll stay on board with him just in case. But we'll have to wait and see. He's round the long right hander, he goes in 6th gear. Making sure that he short shifts up to get that full acceleration and get the best exit he can possibly get without the risk of spinning. His teammate behind him just preparing his tyres. Just making sure no one's on their laps at the moment. There was no change, so I presume not. So we'll see if Neon completes his lap. He will. He's going to press the line. He doesn't find any improvement. So, oh no, he will find an improvement. 34.6. Still over a second behind the driver in front of him, so he will be going again. Who else have we got around the final corner now? That I think that'll be Jinx coming around the final corner. Can he find any improvement? Yes, he can, and he goes up to the top of the timesheets. A 32.1 for him. Just under a 10th ahead of Pease for the time being. Ryan crossing the line to start his lap. We've got a Red Bull coming across the line now. Who is that? It wasn't Mash, it was Floris, who now finds a time to go up into P3 with a 32.2. A very good lap from him there, as he moves up the timesheets very impressively. Who else have we got? We've got Ferrari, Harley coming up to the line to open his lap, and I believe Oryx will be doing the same. Behind them, L2 comes across the line to open his lap, and I think everyone is just starting to get onto their laps. Jonas up to the line. No, he's not. 32 flat. What a lap from Jonas there, as he now takes provisional pole. So we're starting to see a lot quicker times here. Rocco across the line, a 32.1 for him. He moves ahead of his teammate and up into P3. Mash with a 32.5, just behind his teammate there. Up into P6 for him, but that's been taken away straight away from Colin there, who sets a 32.4, and he himself now is up into P6. Behind who have we got? Neon up to the line. 34 flat for him, still not good enough for any improvement in position. Drofter can't find any improvement either. Rishi finds himself coming into the pits. Jinx as well behind. Who else have we got? Ryan on 0.3 improvement, goes very wide through the final corner there, and that might have cost him a little bit of time as he comes up to the line now, but he's still going to find 0.4 improvement with a 32.2, just ahead of Peas there. But he splits the two Aston Martins there as he moves up into P4. Floris now into the pits. Who's that continuing? JB up to the line now. A little bit of an improvement there, 3.5 tenths. Up into P10 now with 32.7. Who else have we got? Harley coming across the line now. 32.9 for him, puts him up into P13. His teammate Warwick's can go even quicker though, a 32.5. Good enough for P9 for him. So strong lap there. Who's jumping up there? Lab jumping up to P13. I think his teammate might have possibly jumped up as well to P12. Who have we got behind? We've got a lot of people coming into the pits now. Mash included. Nomis as well. Who still out there? Colin coming into the pits. It's a little bit deep though. Through there. Is that Neon spinning around? It is Neon spinning around there. On the inside of that slow right-hander. Making a mistake, and he really needs to find a lap here. Otherwise he's going to be starting down in the grid. Wessel up to the line, 32.6, good enough for P11. Clarence coming around the final corners now. Ryan will not be the next one, it'll be Sparks, who hasn't set a lap time yet, but he is actually about to start his lap. So starting quite late here, but we'll see what he can do. The two Ferraris coming down the straight now. Warwick's is 7 tenths down, and Harley is 6 seconds down, so they will not be finding any improvements. L2, I presume as well. These drivers all completed laps not too long ago. And yes, the two Haskell's will be coming into the pits. It's a slow Mercedes coming through the final sector now. I think he might have run out of fuel. Yes, he has run out of fuel, so he will drive slowly back into the pits. Who do we have out on track then? Wessel. Is he currently on a lap? I think he is. Currently P11 on the 32.6. So the braking zone goes down into third. Oh, but he's cut the corner though, and that will be his lap time invalidated. Trying to find all the time that he can get, but unfortunately pushing it a little bit too hard there, and that is his lap over. Sparks then on his first lap. Not looking too bad for him at the moment. Short shifting his way up into fifth. As through the final corner he goes now. Where will Sparks find himself after he completes his first lap? And it's only going to be P19 with a 35.9 there. So he will need to find a little bit more time. Who do we have spinning around there? I think that's Neon. Going slowly. I think he's trying to burn some fuel maybe. Might have put a little bit too much in. So, no one currently on a lap. We'll just check if Sparks is improving. He's 4 seconds down in the first sector, so I assume that he won't be starting his lap. So currently, it's shown us sat on the top step for S2 Esports. Jinx in P2 for CPI Academy. Rocco in P3 for Relentless. Ryan P4 for QRT. So the top four, all different teams here. Then P's also a Relentless driver in P5. Floris P6 for IRT, Colin, and P7 for RDR. We'll start to see some of the drivers open their laps. Neon will be the first driver. On board with him through the closing stages of this session. So, a very long right-hander, got to be so patient. Turning and the throttle, switching it back to left, putting the power down. Be careful, very easy to spin through there. Seemed neat enough though. We're on the first sector point, finding just over half a tenth through there now. Slow right-hander, nicely on the power now. Through the left, is he going to take it flat? Not quite, he is just going to have to lift off just a little bit. And switching it back to right again. Gotta be careful with the brakes, so easy to lock up through these corners as they are whilst you're turning. But he's doing it well here, using all the track on that right hand side. And now we found 4.5 tenths here, so this is looking like a lot better of a lap here from Neon. Can he find anything else in this final sector? Be careful with the throttle. No spinning though. It's looking good for Neon so far. Currently only sits on a 34 flat, so he's going to need to find a lot of time if he wants to improve his position. Down the back straight he goes and into the braking zone. Made a bit of a lock up on that front right, nothing too major though. Straight up to 4. Through the final corner he comes. Neon, what lap time can he set as he's the first driver? He's gone a little bit wide, gotten away with it though, as he crosses the line and he jumps ahead of his teammate with a 32.9 there. As we start to see the final laps oncoming, Colin crosses the line. I don't think he found an improvement there, so I think P7 is the best that he can get. As qualifying is now officially over, so we are starting to see these final laps. Nomis will be the next driver. He's not improving through the first 2 sectors. Can he find anything in the final sector? No, he can't. And it's only P10 for Nomis as he crosses the line. Got a few drivers off here. Jarby was 4 tenths up in the first, 4 hundredths up in the first sector, but has to drop back a long way as we start to see these drivers coming across the line now. Lab through the final corner. What lap time can he set? Can he find any improvement? Currently down in P14. He's not going to improve his time. Who else have we got? Ryan comes across the line. He can't find any improvement either. As I'm trying to jump around to find people. Rocco, a 32.1. He validated his lap. L2 couldn't find any improvement. Who else have we got? Coming through the final corners now. Jonas can find an improvement and he's in the 31 to 31.9. P's just about a 32 flat just behind him there. Rocco can't find any improvement. Who else have we got crossing the line? Warwick's up into P7 there. As Jinx goes even faster at 31.7. What a lap from him. 2 tenths ahead of Jonas. Are we going to see any other improvements as we look down the grid? Wessel up into P9 with a 32.4. A couple of drivers coming into the pits, not happy with their laps. Who else have we got? So Williams coming into the pits. Mash also coming into the pits. And so we've not got many drivers left. Harley coming into the pits as well. So a lot of drivers making mistakes on the final lap here. As Neon comes across the line, he's not going to find any improvement though. And that is it for qualifying. No one else is going to improve. And so it's Jinx, who's on pole with a 31.7. What a lap from him there. 2 tenths ahead of Jonas. Floris in the end gets P3 at 31.9 as well. Only the top 3 managing to get into the 31s. And then you've got the 2 relentless drivers, Peas and Rocco, in P4 and 5. Ryan will take P6. Warwick will take P7. Colin P8. Wessel P9. Mash will take P10 and round up the top 10. 3 thousandths behind him is Drofter in P11. Nomis P12. Jarby in P13. L2 in P14. Lab P15. Arlie in P16. Neon P17. Rishi P18. Sparks in P19. And Felix, with our early retirement, will start from the back of the grid. So there you have it, qualifying is over. That will be the grid for the race. So, be interesting to see what the strategies are around the grid. China, definitely an easy track to spin around. As I was saying earlier, with all of those fast corners, difficult to keep together. But I'm sure these guys will have no problem at all. Seems dry enough for the race here, so I think it will just be a dry race to the end. We look to get the formation lap underway. We will have a look at the tyre choice of the drivers. So we have hards all around, except for one driver, Rishi, trying to be different once again. Rishi going for the different strategy on the mediums here. Could be interesting to see if it works for him. He could definitely gain a lot of positions from it. But everyone else being on the hards. So, Jinx leading the way. Will he be able to get a good enough start? There's your predicted pit stop strategy, except the fact that those are completely wrong. There's only one driver starting on mediums. There likely will be mediums, hards to mediums. But obviously safety cars can change that a lot, especially with the late safety cars. Oh, there's someone going very wide there in the background. Who was that? That was Peas going very wide in the background. Manages to keep it together in the end. Who else have we got? Going very slowly at the back here. One of the Ferrari drivers. Harley getting slow as he catches up now. Sparks as well. Going very slowly. Maybe they made just a little bit of mistake. They don't seem very out of position. Ooh, is that someone spinning around in the background? Sparks has gone round in the background. Resets the track. Couldn't tell you if that's allowed on formation lap. Be interesting to see. Unfortunately, I'm not 100% sure. But as the drivers start to get lined up, I would expect that no one will get disqualified. I shouldn't have said anything. Warrix and Colin both disqualified. Who else are we going to have being disqualified, or will everyone else park their cars in a good place? Harley will not. He will also start further back in his grid, as now we wait for Sparks to get into his grid slot. As we look to get underway for the Chinese Grand Prix, Sparks as well finds himself getting a disqualification. But here we go, Season 2, Round 2 at the Chinese Grand Prix. And we are underway, and it seems like a good stop for the Alpine driver of Jinx. Not the same for Jonas though, as he's already having to defend from Peas on the outside line. As they go side by side through turn 1. Peas trying to hold around the outside, but no, he can't. Jonas in the end will have the lead, and the two Aston Martins now close together, as Flores did not get a good start at all. Warwick's up into P6 as well, as he's going side by side with Ryan. He will get P6 there. That's through the first sector they go. Ryan fancies a move back on him as he goes back down the inside. There's a little bit of contact in the background between Colin and Wessel, I want to say. As in the back, Mash is spun round. But apart from that, everyone keeping it on track. Wessel trying to go for a move on Colin here. You don't usually see overtakes around here. We've also got drivers changing in the background as well. Wessel now with the inside line. And he is up into P7. Is that a bit of contact? Jinx has gone round and he's down in P9 now. I didn't actually catch what happened with him, but leading the race, somehow he's dropped down the order. Neon with a very good start up into P12 already. But Jinx dropping down into P9, which means Jonas inherits the race lead, and you can see him breaking that slipstream down the main straight, as that's McLaren going very wide through there. I think that's Sparks as he finds himself off the track. But it's Jonas leading the way. Who else have we got? Jinx trying to get his way back up. He gets around the outside and before the braking zone. Get past Colin. Colin back down the inside though. That looked very close, and I think Colin's gone round. No, Colin hasn't gone round. It's Warwick's that has gone around there, as he's on the right hand side and going a bit slower as Lab into the pits, making an early pit stop. You can see his front right end plate isn't there, so that will be for a front wing change. As we jump back at the front, Jonas leads the way, but he's got the two relentless drivers right behind him in P2 and P3. Flores seems to be putting a lot of pressure on Rocco here. For P3, JB and Nomis go side by side. They're both off the track. Nomis just about managing to catch it. It seemed like JB was given a little bit of a squeeze there. In the end, managing to keep it together. But a little bit of contact. Felix now goes off the road and drops down into P12. As Rishi seemed to go a little bit wide through there. Isn't too bad though. So Felix already up into P12 as we change into the position change, and look at that, Neon up 8 positions already, Felix up 8 positions as well. It's been a very good start for those two drivers. Rishi, those mediums have earned him 5 positions as well, so a good start from him utilising that softer compound. Jinx though, he started on pole and he's down to P7. He'll have to try and fight his way back through the field. He's looking to put the pressure on Wessel here. He's using his overtake. Is he going to be close enough for a move? He's definitely closing. Is he going to go for it down the inside? Later braking, but not quite close enough to go for a move, and in the end he has to back out and sit behind for the time being. JB and Neon go side by side, and JB almost losing the back end there. In the end has to concede the position to Neon as he drops down to P10, as that's a driver going very wide through there. I believe that was Rishi. As looking further up the order, Wessel and Jinx are going side by side through turn 1. Jinx trying to go all the way around the outside. Is he going to be able to hold it? It's going to switch to the inside line through the left-hander, still going side by side, no contact. Clean driving. Wessel is almost ahead. Now he's ahead, and Wessel will maintain onto that 6th position, but Jinx is going to go down the inside into the right-hander with that inside line. Can he get a better exit though, as they're still side by side? Now into the 2nd sector. Jinx seems to be a little bit ahead, but he's got the outside line, which will then switch to the inside line for the next corner. Through they go, almost a little bit of contact. Now it's Wessel who will have the inside line. Now there's a bit of contact. Wessel half spinning around, manages to catch it. Jinx has gone off as well. But going side by side for that long. In the end, Wessel hits the side pod of Jinx. Half spins, manages to catch it though. As Neon now gets past Wessel, and now it's 9 places for him off the race start here. It's been an amazing start for him. Colin right on the back of Jinx now. After that contact between the two of them, Jinx now 3 seconds behind Ryan ahead. So the gap is big there. Colin fancying a move to the inside line, and it's going to be a very easy move, as he might even have it done before the braking zone. He will have it done before the braking zone. Jinx thought about getting a move back. A little bit of luck though from Colin might give the opportunity to Jinx, and he is going to take it, and he's going to get the move back up into P6. Wessel on the other hand down in P8. He's got Neon right behind him, got the move back on him. There's now JB looking for a move on Neon as well, as he looks to the inside line through turn 1. Is he going to be able to do it late on the brakes? And I think he's got the move already. Neon though with the switch back, there's a little bit of contact, and Neon's going to spin out. He just catches it though. He'll lose a couple of positions, as now he goes down to 14th as Nomis spins around now. That seemed to be on his own though, on that inside line, puts the power down too early and Nomis spins around, and now Sparks has spun around in exactly the same place. As the QRT driver now drops down to P17. In the McLaren, Felix now up 10 positions. It's been a very good start from him. But still, out in front is Jonas leading the way. Ahead of Pease, ahead of Rocco, ahead of Flores. Those three have the benefit of DRS, but Pease not quite close enough to get the move. As Neon, I think, has gone around. Yes, he has. Neon's gone round. So all the positions that he gained off that race start is just being undone here. As he now drops down into P14, and he's got Mash and Nomis right behind him, putting the pressure on him. We've got more yellow flags. Now Sparks is retired from the race, as here comes Wessel, but he's not quite going to have a chance to get the move. As the full course safety car comes out and Sparks is out the race. Where is he retired? On the left hand side there. Too early on the power, I would presume, and he spun and hit that left side wall. We'll go back to tyres as we are now 4 laps into the race. So, who have we got coming into the pits? Felix into the pits. L2 has got a drive-through penalty though for speeding on the pit lane. He's right at the back anyway. So that is interesting. Rishi also into the pits. Mash and Nomis into the pits. Some of the drivers already making pit stops. Lab, Harley and L2. As Felix will rejoin in P13. These drivers should come out in the order that you're seeing them as of now. Lab coming down the main straight. He's going to be able to get ahead of Nomis in time. Not quite. Nomis will be ahead and in P16. So already starting to see some different strategies from these drivers. Felix, Mash, Nomis, Lab, Harley and L2 all coming into the pits for the medium tyres, and then Rishi coming in for those hards. It's going to be a difficult task for him to make it to the end on those tyres. But it could be worth trying. Because now the order is reset. All the gaps are closed back down. So Jonas, we'll see if he can take the opportunity to get the gap to the Aston Martins. So far, they've both done a good job of staying with him. So we see behind L2 with that drive through. I think he's going to need another safety car, otherwise it could be his race over. Both ASAC drivers down in P17 and P19 at the moment. It's not looking good for them so far. And I believe that the only, in fact the two Ferraris outside the points as well as the two Alfa Romeos. In fact the two, no, those are Williams. So everyone else has a driver in the points. Currently looking very good for Relentless. P2 and P3 for them at the moment. Now we're just waiting for Harley and L2 to catch up to the back of the safety car. Harley will be there in a second. L2 be a little bit longer. Just getting that drive through. It's really going to frustrate him. He's really going to struggle to find anything this race. But obviously with the high possibility of another safety car, we've had our first safety car after 4 laps. With 24 more laps to go after that, it does look quite likely that we will see the safety car come out again. As well, the safety car coming to the pits this lap. Came out on lap 4. And it will come in on lap 6, so L2 does manage to catch up onto the back of the safety car. But it is down to Jonas to now control the pace down this main straight. When is he going to go? Will it be before, during or after the corner? after the final corner. These tyres, very difficult to get up to temperature and maintain that temperature, especially when you're going at these speeds. Going nice and slowly, giving himself as big as a window as possible for when he can restart. When is he going to go? He's trying to get temperature into his rears. This is behind. When will Jonas go? Still going to sit back for the time being. And he's gone now, and Pease are stuck with him. It's been a good restart here. The other Aston Martin driver not as much. Through the final corner they go. Pease made a little bit of a mistake though, and he's not going to be challenging Jonas into turn one. Instead, the front couple are going to maintain their position. Do we see an overtake here from Jinx behind? Not quite. He may position himself for a move down the inside. It's going to be a late lunge. Is he going to go for it? His tyres still there, just about. Ryan will have the inside line though for the next corner, and Jinx will be stuck behind Ryan for the time being. Ryan holding on to that P5 in the McLaren. Jonas, it's not been a great restart. Only 6/10 is the gap. Out in front, Colin already a second behind Jinx here. So struggling on that restart at the moment, whether it is because he couldn't get temperature in his tyres. Here comes Jinx. Is he going to go all the way around the outside? I don't think he's quite going to stick it. Yes, he will. He's going to go all the way around the outside. Now he'll have the inside line. Still Ryan's trying to hold it, and Jinx makes a slight mistake there. Manages to catch it, but he's going to lose a lot of time there, and Colin could be right on the back of him here and looking for a move past him. As already, yeah, look at this, down to the inside line now for Colin as he goes very deep through the corner. Jinx is still on the outside though. He gets pushed a little bit wide there, but still they go side by side through the long right hander now. Who's going to get the better exit? It's Jinx for the inside line, and he's ahead, and now he's ahead by a car length and a half. Jinx holds on to P6. However, Colin is going to come back at him here as well. Jarby as well, looking for a move on Wessel here, as Leon loses the position behind, as Shavy isn't quite close enough to go for a move. Warwick's is though, as down the inside he goes of Drofter. Is he going to get the move? Drofter with the outside line though will turn into the inside for him, but he's going to lose the position before the braking zone. And Warwick's is in P10 now, into the points for the Ferrari 2. Now for Romeo drivers sitting in P13 and P14, we've got a possible opportunity here for Felix, as he goes down the inside of Drofter, and he'll get the move already. Good move from Felix there, up into P11. We've got L2 into the pits to serve as drive-through. Neon's gone round at turn 1. I was just talking about the Alfa Romeo drivers, as he's now spun it, and he'll lose a lot of time there, 4.5 seconds behind Lab. As Mash looking for an overtake on Nomis here, all the way around the outside. That would be a very difficult move to do, and in the end he does just have to back off. Fight for another day. Very close gaps though here between these drivers. All behind Colin here. Colin out of DRS range from Jinx. After Jinx made a little bit, possibly a little bit of contact with Ryan. I couldn't quite tell. And that little half spin cost him a lot of time. Through the end of the second sector they go, and into the third. DRS not quite activated yet. But still, the opportunity to see some overtakes. Meanwhile out in front, Jonas only 7/10 ahead of Pease here. So Pease is doing a good job managing to keep within that DRS range. Felix might fancy another move here. He is going to go for the move down the inside on Warwick's. Is he going to be able to do it? He's going to brake late. Not quite late enough to go into his teammate, but late enough to get the move. And he is up into P10. Ahead of Warwick's now with Mash. Gets the move on Harley as well. Harley's still on the outside there. Now the inside line. As through the final corner they go, and Mash in the end backs out and concedes the position. However, straight back on him. He's going to go for it again on the fresher tyres. 4 laps compared to 7 laps. Around the outside he goes. Can Mash hold this one? It's a long way to go around the outside. He's still going to try and hold it here, but I don't think it's going to be close enough, and in the end Mash will have to settle for 16th for the time being. There's no way around the outside of Harley there. Meanwhile, these gaps have come down quite a little bit. The two Aston Martins, only 4 tenths between the two of them, Pease and Rocco. Flores as well sat behind these guys. The first driver, who's on the medium tyres, is in fact Felix, and I was just wondering if they're going to swap positions. I don't know if that was a swap of positions, because JB did go very off track there. But Felix is now up into P9 on those mediums. So Hills looked to put a lot of pressure on the guys ahead as Lab gets past Mash, and Mash has spun round actually. Through the first stages of Sector 3, and now Harley's gone round as well on the exit of the long right-hander. So a couple of spins here from drivers as now Warwick's looks to get the move on Jarby. Not quite close enough to get the move, but Jarby's gone very deep through there. Now Warwick's is going to try and position himself on that inside line, but in the end won't quite be close enough. And Jarby will hold P10. However, a good exit from Warwick here could give him an opportunity to go for a move here. Not quite close enough though to go for a move into turn 1. Meanwhile, back out in front, Pease getting very close onto the back of Jonas here. That DRS playing a massive factor. 9 laps currently done on those hard tyres. Got 19 laps to go. So still a little bit of a distance on these hard tyres for these guys. Felix, look at that, right on the back of Wessel here. He'll want to get these moves as soon as he can to progress himself up the order on those medium tyres. 4 lap fresher those medium tyres are, so they might go just a little bit less of a distance compared to the hard tyres. But obviously he's coming to the pits, so he has got free choice of tyres, whereas the other guys haven't. They have got to come in for the medium or softs. I'm not 100% sure how tired he is around here. But Jonas, look at that break in the slipstream. Pease not interested in it at all. He's staying on that left-hand side. Conventional line as Felix on those medium tyres. Let's remove on Vessel. And I think he's going to get it before the braking zone here. He comes right across Vessel. And that is going to be Felix. Up into P8. A very good move from him. We've got Harley spinning around again as Nomis gets a move on Drofter there. Seemed like he just went down the inside there. Simple enough move. We've got yellow flags ahead. That is Jinx spinning around. So, our pole sitter, he spun around once again. I think he was all on his own then as well, so it can only be his fault. And he's dropped now down into P14. And it's not been a good race. It was a very good qualifying. 2 tenths ahead of the driver behind. But the race has not gone well for him, and he now is down in P14 on those old hard tyres as well. And he needs to show some real pace if he wants to find any points in this race. So that spin from Jinx now means that Colin is 4 seconds behind Ryan. Oh, who's that? Jonas has spun round! Jonas from the lead of the race. This spun round, and what is it with the leaders spinning around at the moment? Now Rocco's losing the position to Flores. Is down the inside he goes, and he pushes him wide and off the track. Rocco has to cut the corner. They're still side by side though. Flores all the way around the outside will now get the position. But Flores went down the inside and did not leave Rocco any room there. As he now moves up into P2, and now Ryan looking for a move on Rocco as well. So despite the spin from Jonas, Rocco's going to lose positions here. As now Flores looking for a move down the inside of Pease, and he's looking for P1. Down the inside he goes, leaving Pease enough room there. He's got the move currently in Flores up into P1. He was P4 just a couple of corners ago, but he's found himself back up into P1. Now Ryan's gone round, and into the pits he comes. No front wing for him. And Ryan is into the pits. Now Flores has lost the position to Pease as Pease, I think he's gone around the outside there. Pease moves back up into P1, gets the move back on Flores. And now Rocco's now down in P5. What happened to him as well? It's been a crazy couple of corners, and look at that. Felix from the back of the grid is up into P4. 16 positions he's gained this race. And he's on the fresher medium tyres. He's going to look to get past Jonas and then put the pressure on the guys ahead. What a race from him so far. Out in front though, Flores is putting the pressure on Pease. These two I'm sure we'll have a good battle in the coming laps. As the gap only 4/10 if they end the second sector and into the final sector. Is Flores going to be able to retake the lead that he took just less than one lap ago? Onto the main straight they go. Is he going to be close enough though to go for a move here? Certainly catching, and he's definitely catching. He's going to catch enough here to go for a move. To the inside line he goes. Who's going to be later braking? It's going to be Flores on that inside line. Pease is going to try and switch back it, position himself nicely for the final corner. He's not quite close enough, however. He's got a DRS zone coming up, and Flores is into the pits actually. So Flores making a very early pit stop here. He wants to get rid of those hard tyres, and that will release Pease all on his own out in front. And now he's going to put in some very quick laps. We've also got Rocco into the pits for Relentless. This is just a normal pit stop. Is that Colin? I think Colin, yeah, Colin's gone round. So Colin's now spinning around as well as Wessel loses the position to Warwick's there. Now Nomis trying to get past Wessel as well as he goes around the outside. Is he going to be able to get the move? Trying to go the long way around. He's going to just sit back, try and position himself. There's a little bit of wheel banging, not too much though, to cause a collision. And Wessel is down to P6 though, leaves the door open, and Nomis is going to try and take it down the inside. Now going around the outside. Is he going to have the position here? Still side by side. Wessel leaves the room. Still going side by side through the left-hander. Nomis is squeezing him a little bit, and now he gets to move up into P6. It's a good move from him there. Drofter now down the inside of Wessel. Wessel's being attacked left, right and centre here as he tries to hang on to these positions. As we come down the final straight here, Felix up into P3. He's got his teammate behind him holding all the drivers off. So here comes Felix. Is he going to go for a move? Not quite. He is just going to sit behind for the time being. Here comes Drofter on Wessel. Is he going to go for a move? Wessel positions his car very well there in the middle of the track. It doesn't stop. Drofter trying to go for a move around the outside. He's got a very good exit as well. He's going to have the inside line for the next corner. He's just going to back off a little bit. Doesn't want to make contact with the final corner. But he's got to be careful as Rishi, look at that, Rishi gets a brilliant exit on him as Felix gets the move on Jonas. So down the inside into turn 1, and Felix on those medium tyres is up into P2. 18 positions he's made so far, and now he's going to go after P's here and try and take that P1 as Warwick's all the way around the outside of Zabi. Is he going to get the move? He's going to have the inside line for the final corner in that first sector, and Warwick's is up into P4 ahead of JB there, who now drops into P5. Who's trying to defend all of these positions for his teammate. Currently on those medium tyres and up in P2. With Flores coming into the pits, Pease did respond straight away with the fastest lap. So he's definitely pushing to try and make sure that when he does make his stop, he maybe comes out ahead, or at least is close on the back, as that's a little bit of a mistake there from Drofter. Or was he just letting his teammate through? He might have just been letting his teammate through there. I couldn't quite tell. But as they are both teammates, I'm going to assume that he was just letting him through and nothing else. Will there be any overtakes here? Drofter catching up to his teammate, but he's not going to go for a move on him. As P's now into the pits, so he responded to Flores with the fastest lap of the race. But Flores, I mean, you can see he's been catching up so much time on the back of Neon there. Colin also into the pits for his first stop of the race. As Pease comes out on the medium tyres, where's Flores going to be? We have got yellow flags around that final corner, but Flores is going to be way ahead of Pease here. He takes the lead of the race, but he's got 2 lap older tyres, and he's got to go to the end of the race. So Pease 2 seconds behind Flores. Is he going to be able to make that time back up? Will the fresher tyres help that? Jinx has managed to get ahead of Ryan there, despite making a couple of mistakes. He now moves up into P14. L2 up in 30th at the moment. He has got to make another stop. Felix now Can't believe I'm saying this. After starting from the back of the grid, Felix is leading the race. And we're only halfway through the Grand Prix. He's got to make another stop. But what a race he's had since that first lap. Leading the way, and has Jonas got DRS there? Look at where yes he did. He was just about close enough to get it. But he's going to be making this pit stop very soon, and I assume that Normis and Felix, Lab and L2 would all make their pit stops as well. As those medium tyres obviously will not be able to last as long. Felix is going to come into the pits. Nope, he will stay out. So will Jonas. Works will come into the pits. Jarby will follow him in. Normis is going to stay out though on those medium tyres. Wessel also staying out on those tyres. Rishi as well. So now that means that we got Felix, Jonas, Normis, Wessel and Rishi are the top 5. Where are we going to see these drivers rejoin? Floris and P's already going past. Floris right on the back of Lapper, and he's going to go for a move down the inside. And I don't think Lab's going to make it too difficult for him. No, he isn't. Floris will move up into P6 as he tries to gap P's there. We've got yellow flags here for someone behind. Who is this? Ryan going side by side with Jinx down the inside. There's a Mercedes right ahead. He's going very slowly. It's JB who's just come out the pits, I believe. So he's got cold tyres, so he's going slowly. Jinx in the end up into P12. There's now JB trying to defend from Ryan. As they go side by side through the right hander. Ryan with the outside line, I would predict will get the better exit with the warmer tyres as well. So JB just coming out the pits, and he's lost a lot of time there. Two of the drivers around him. He's now down in P14. Jonas once again close enough to get that DRS. Just tagging on the back for now. And this could be doing Jonas very good here actually. Being that close as L2 loses the position to Jinx there, and now Ryan trying to go around the outside as well, and he's going to have JB as well trying to get the move, as well as Colin just behind as well. Ryan gets past L2 there, Jarby will get past, and I would predict Colin to get the move as well. Out in front, we've got a lot of drivers coming into the pits. Jonas, Felix and Nomis all coming into the pits. Are we going to see who's going to be ahead here? Felix or Jonas? It would be Felix who comes out ahead. He's taking another set of mediums. But front two of Wessel and Rishi, they need to make another pit stop. Rishi doesn't need to, but I would presume that he will. Lab, 15 laps on those medium tyres. He's done a very good stint. Who was that off? It was Nomis. Nomis was off there. I caught that out the corner of my eye. So Nomis has gone round, and now L2 around the outside. Now the inside line gets the move, and now Drofter is going to look for a move on him as well, as he now moves up into P14, and now he's possibly going to look for a move on L2. Not quite close enough. Is he going to go for a send? Yes, he will. He's going to go for a send down the inside line. L2 sees it coming, jumps out the way, and in the end Drofter moves up into P13. L2 still out on those tyres that have done 15 laps for him. A very long stint. As Rishi might look for an opportunity here. He's got full up pressure tyres. His stint definitely isn't over yet. Wessel, on the other hand, is probably going to be coming in very soon. Especially not quite close enough to go for a move just yet. He goes quite deep as well in the braking zone. You've got to be careful. You've got Floris right behind him trying to catch up, and Wessel is going to come into the pits for his first stop. 16 laps on those hard tyres. He will jump onto the medium tyres, and we'll see where he comes out. But this does mean Rishi inherits the lead of the race. 13 laps on those hard tyres. Like I said earlier, I don't see them going to the end of the race. It would mean that he does 23 laps on them, which I don't think is going to be possible. Floris is within 3 seconds of him already. Where is Wessel going to come out here? He comes out of the pits. Going to be side by side with Drofter there. In fact, Drofter will be just behind, but I would expect him to try and look for a move. Look at that, he's almost nudging him around the corner, trying to position himself for a better exit. Is he going to get it? Wessel positioned his car very well though. Here they come, Drofter. We've seen him go for the move down the inside here a couple of times. He's not quite going to do it. He just wants to sit behind for the time being. out in front though. That gap down to 2.2 already, as is the pace difference between these two drivers. Flores, I would expect to be on the back of Rishi in the next 2 laps, as is the pace that he's got. He's not got much battery though at all. Neither Pete is actually out of the RS. So is Rocco. Rishi. See, when he comes his wheel back, he's got a little bit more actually. He's managed his DRS a little bit better than those guys behind, but they are catching him. That's a very quick rate. Rishi goes on to lap 19. We have got 10 laps remaining. We can see any overtakes from any drivers behind. Felix in P5 had a Jonas who has got DRS on him. He's going to be able to make a move though. There's now Lab and Mash going side by side. Mash now will have the inside line into the final corner. They go. Is there going to be a little bit of contact? I think they just got away with it. Mash, I think, had to back out a little bit though. He's lost a little bit of time. Is he close enough to go for a move into turn 1? Not quite. He's going to have to back off Ryan, losing 2 positions very quickly there. Might have made a little bit of a mistake. He now drops down out to the points and in P11. He's done, I think, the most laps on those medium tyres out of anyone this race. For the time being, anyway. Obviously, except Rishi, who was still out there on those tyres. But look at this, Flores. He's got a very big opportunity here to take the lead back. He's got Pease approaching him very quickly, so he's going to want to get this move done as soon as possible. Rishi won't defend it, and Flores will get the lead back in this race. Lap 19, the lead changes and Flores finds his way back up to the top. Ryan, I think, he's gone round again. Yes, he has, around the final corner. Got to be careful he doesn't get beached there, as he's struggling to get it facing in a straight line, and it's not been a good day at all for the QRT drivers. Currently in P17 and P20 after Sparks retired earlier on, causing the only safety car we've had so far. Now Lab and Mash still going side by side. Mash is going to push him a little bit wide through there, but he gets to move up into P15. Lab will have the DRS back on him though. He's got not the DRS though. We'll see. He's definitely closing. Mash is going to defend to the inside line. Can he go all the way around the outside? It's through turn 1 they go. He's definitely going to try it. He's going to position himself very nicely though, Lab. Back to the inside line. Now it's Mash with the inside line. Lab trying to hold it all the way around the outside, but Mash gets the move and he is up into P15 in the Red Bull. His Red Bull teammate leading the race currently. Rishi not quite close enough to get DRS there either. So Pease could easily get the move here. Around the wrong right-hander and onto the straight. Pease, is he going to be close enough? It seems like the gap is a little bit bigger than it was with Flores, so Pease might have to go for a bit of a lunge here. Is he going to go for it? Not quite, he's going to sit behind for now. But Rishi goes a little bit deep, and look at that, Pease with a much better exit, and Pease is going to move up into P2, and now it's just a straight fight to the end of the race between these two drivers. As we have 8 laps to go here, as Colin and JB going side by side. Colin with that inside line pushed JB a little bit wide through there. JB was quite close enough to hold the inside line into the final corner. He's trying to position himself for a good exit though. To get the DRS. He's going to be able to go for a move here down the inside. Not quite. Just wants to position himself. He's trying to look for a move down the inside line. There's a bit of contact though. JB almost spinning around, manages to catch it in the end without losing much time. But that gap was very tight. Colin knew what he was going to go for, and he just shut the door there, not inviting JB for a move down the inside. Jonas still close on the back of Felix. We've got yellow flags, and I believe that's for Harley. Yes, it is. Approaching the final corner, he spun around, and he is going to come into the pits. Riley in fact does retire from the race. So, oh, is there an overtaking behind? Jonas now finally gets past Felix after being sat behind for a long time. Jonas gets the move, but Felix trying to switch back there, can't quite get a good enough exit, but he's still going to have the opportunity going into turn 1. Turns on the RS, opens the DRS. Is he going to be close enough for a move into turn 1? Not quite. He is just going to sit behind. Once again, the driver in front going a little bit wide through there. Felix not close enough to capitalise on the opportunity, and in the end he will just sit behind for now. Riley's car parked up on the right hand side there. No issues. So Jonas finds his way up as P5. Is he going to be able to put any pressure on Rocco ahead? I think it would be a difficult task for him to do so. Meanwhile, Rishi, I've got to say, he's doing quite well on those hard tyres. He's obviously the gap 2 seconds ahead to Pease, but he's not. You would have expected him to lose a lot more time than that compared with the tyres that he's on. So he's doing a very good job out there. But is he going to be able to get those hard tyres to the end? It's going to be a very difficult task if he is to do so. But starting near the back of the grid, it would be a very good race from him. Felix throws him back into the back of Jonas here, not quite close enough though. Go for a move, he's almost going to go into the back of him there though. Having to lock up a little bit with his front right. Managed to avoid going into the back of him, but he has lost quite a bit of time in doing so. Meanwhile, the drivers behind Colin, JB and Wessel, these are the final points. Jofta and Nomis also joining the back of this battle here, as Ryan now down the inside of Lab gets the move, and now ASAC, both their drivers at the back of the grid now. P17 and P18, it will be a day to forget for them, although Lab might fancy an opportunity back on Ryan. He's definitely going to go for it, he's definitely closing. Down the inside he goes, just leaving each other just about enough room. There's Lab with the outside line now, as Ryan will have the inside, trying to hold it all the way around the outside. Ryan will be ahead, and Ryan will hold on to that P16. Lab though with a very good exit in the end. With that second phase, he's going to go back down the inside. He's still keeping it clean between the two of them. A little bit of contact actually as soon as I said that. But Ryan holding P16, Lab sensing an opportunity down the inside in the end. Not quite close enough, and it probably was for the better, as that gap was always going to close. And in the end managing to avoid contact. Meanwhile Wessel very close on the back of JB here. JB not quite close enough. Colin though is still Lab and Ryan. No, they aren't going side by side. In fact, Ryan's spun round. And so now he drops down to P17. As JB does get Wessel actually in the end. So I just missed that as I was looking at Ryan spinning around. Wessel trying to look for a move back on JB here. Not quite close enough, and JB in P10 now, as he goes a little bit wide though through there, and Wessel's going to get the move back. Is that... I think he's missing a little bit of front wing there. He is missing a little bit of front wing. So JB, he's missing his front right end plate, and that's going to cost him a lot of time, especially around the track, as Ryan now retires from the race, and it is a double DNF. Oh, as Jarby almost going into the back of Wessel there. That front wing really not doing him any favours at all. But with that retirement of Ryan, that does mean that both QRT drivers are now out of the race. Shaby trying to hold on from Nomis now, but that having that front right end plate, you can see how much he's struggling trying to fight with the car. And I think Nomis will get the move on him down the straight. Still got yellow flags for Ryan as his car parks up. Rishi loses the position to Rocco as Rocco down the inside. Rishi won't make it too difficult for him as he's just trying to get these tyres to the end. It will be a mega stint from him if he's able to do so. A little bit wide there, he's got to be careful that he doesn't get track limits. No one with any time penalties so far, doing a very good job out there today. As now Nomis does get the move on JB in the end, and he's just avoided him there. That was very close. JB's going to come into the pits, and he's in the wall, and he's going to lose even more of his front wing there. He tries to get into the pits, and I think he's just going to come in for some soft tyres and try and take that fastest lap. I'm not quite sure who actually has the fastest lap so far. I actually can't find it. I've gone past tyres now. Fastest lap so far is Pease out in front. This could be an interesting end to the race here. Pease, that second gap, it's right there. I don't think he's quite close enough as that gap does go to 1.1, but he's got a very good exit through here, taking that tighter line. Is he going to get DRS here? They're both going to be pushing. I think he's got DRS here. Do we see it open? We don't see it open, so not quite close enough, but the gap is only 8 tenths. And Flores is going to be start looking in his mirrors. He's going to see an Aston Martin there, ready to make the move. Final corner they go. And now Pease is going to have DRS, so Flores has got to start being careful now. With Pease being behind him, we've only got 3 laps to go, but he's going to be putting the pressure on. He's got 2 lap fresher tyres. So it could be a very close end to this race for the top step on the podium. Jarby, yes, in the end did come in for soft tyres, so he will look for fastest lap of the race. Jonas very close on the back of Rishi here. He's going to go for the move, but already down the inside. Rishi will leave the room and we'll let Jonas go. And so Rishi now down into P5. He's got a 5-second gap to Felix behind, so if Rishi can make those tyres go the length, then he could be looking at P5 here, as long as he can keep the pace up, even with those tyres being in the state that they're in. Here comes Pease. Look at the gap. It's down to 6 tenths already. Pease is putting all the pressure on Flores here. Neither driver with any ERS. They've burned so much of it trying to get DRS and trying to keep the other out of DRS. Pease not quite close enough to go for a move just yet, but he does position himself very nicely for the final corner here. He's only 3 tenths away as well. And Flores might have to start thinking about defence here. The gap, 3 tenths of a second, 14 laps Flores has done on those mediums, 12 laps Pease has done on his. We've gone through turn 1 now, and I don't think we're quite going to see an overtake through there. I think he's just going to sit behind for now. Is that Mash going for a move? No, we've got yellow flags in fact. As L2 spins around, Mash not quite close enough to go for a move just yet. I don't want to miss anything out in front, so I'm just going to stay on board with these guys. 2 laps to go. Is Pease going to be able to do anything here to get past Flores? Only 3 retirements this race, only 1 safety car in this race. Right at the start of the Grand Prix, so it didn't really benefit anyone except Rishi, who's losing a lot of time compared to Felix behind. The gap now down to 2.7, and it just keeps coming down by the second. Jarby in the end gets fastest lap with a 34.5. He won't get the benefit of the extra point, but he will take it away from another driver. Pease looking like he's in a very good position here. Yeah, then we've got to be careful though through that corner with that dirty air. Flores feeling the need to defend here as he starts weaving. Doesn't want to do it too much. He will get in a little bit of trouble. Colin has spun around in the background. It's Pease close enough to go for a move. Still not quite. He's just going to have to sit behind for the time being. Colin down to P12 now after that spin. Drops him outside of the points. Jonas going for a move down the inside. Rocco's pushing him to the inside line. So both the Aston Martins in a fight here. Rocco holding on, but can Pease go for a move into turn 1? He's using the arrest, but he's got none left. Not quite close enough to go down the inside. It's a long turn 1 though. Is he going to position himself? Flores positioning his car very well though, in the middle of the track. Jonas is going to go to the inside line. He senses an opportunity. There's a little bit of contact. Rocco's pushed wide and Jonas moves up into P3, takes the final step on that podium. As Pease, he's right on the back of Flores here. Almost nothing to split them. As we're on the final lap of the race, is there anything that Pease can do to get past Flores here? There's the gap, 0.3 of a second. Pease is definitely going to get DRS here. Look at that, 0.3 of a second. And look at the Flores has gone tactical. So, Flores has gone tactical with the DRS. He's let Pease go through. Is Flores going to get the move back? It's going to be down to the exit they get out here. Flores, has he done the best strategy? The gap is 0.5 though. Is it going to work for him? He's closing, but is he closing enough? In the back, L2 spun round. Flores, he's catching. Pease defends. Flores is going to go to the inside. They're both trying to break each other. Flores makes contact with Pease though. As they go side by side, Pease with the outside line though is going to get the better exit. And Pease, through the final corner he goes. I think Pease is going to take it. Flores went tactical, but it didn't work out for him. And Pease is going to take the win for Relentless once again. It's back-to-back win for Relentless. Flores in the end has to settle for P2. Jonas for X Esports will take the final step of the podium in P3. Rocco will take P4. Felix, what a race from him. In the end managed to get the move on Rishi. He takes P5. Rishi will take P6. Warwick will take P7. Jinx, an unfortunate race for him, saw a couple of mistakes, manages to recover to get some points and will finish in P8. Wessel will get P9. Drofter will round out the points in P10. And then we've got Normis, Colin, Neon, Mash, Lab, Jarby, and L2 will cross the line as the final driver to finish the race. So, Flores, he wanted the DRS down that main straight, but in the end, he's got a good enough exit. We saw the different lines through that final corner. Pease took a much narrower line, and in the end, he's going to take it. Desperation came in for Flores, as he knew that he'd almost just thrown the race away. In the end, he did, as he went for a move down the inside. But in the end wasn't quite close enough. And Pease, he didn't lead the race for many laps, but he is going to take the win here today. A very good finish for Relentless. 2 drivers in the points, including that win, first and fourth. So there you have it. Relentless will take a 1 and 4th. They will maintain their lead at the top of the standings. NRL, in the end, Felix, what a drive from him. Definitely driver of the day. Both him and Rishi, a very good race. Both of them could have been driver of the day, but Felix in the end, 15 positions from the back of the grid to make it up into P5. He'll pick up a couple of points for NRL. Who else have we got? CPI, not many points at all for them. Only the 4. So they might lose P3 and drop down the order. Flores obviously for IRT, they will jump up quite high in X Esports as well. With getting 15 points, they will jump up a little bit as well. In fact, the other AlphaTauri got 2 points, so 17 points. For X Esports, they will jump up. Meanwhile, at the back of the grid, RIs, they get their first points. With a P7 finish from Warwick's. So every team has now got points after only the 2nd race of the season. So there you have it. Race number 2 goes to Pease and Relentless once again. Next time out, in a week's time, it is Portugal at the Portimao circuit. Will Relentless be able to continue their form and take another win there? We'll have to wait and see. But for now, that is me, and that was the Chinese Grand Prix.